Long haul flights, so much fun, am I right? Well, at least for like 1 or 2 hours, then not so much anymore. If you are planning to go on a very long flight and you want to have the time of your life, all right, at least maybe a pleasant flight, then you came to the right place. Make sure you watch this entire video. If you're new here, my name is Vicky from Nonstop Travel VV, and why am I qualified to tell you all about how to survive a long-haul flight? Well, I'm originally from Austria, but for the last 12 years I've been living in Australia, which means that every time I want a white Christmas or I want to go home to visit my family, I'm gonna do a surprise visit in 2 months, don't tell them. Then unfortunately it always involves a long-haul flight. That being said though, I absolutely love flying. I love planes, I love airports, I love everything involved, even if I fly economy on a very cheap low-cost airline. After, let's say, 5 or 6 hours, it is not so much fun anymore. But over the last 20 plus years, I don't want to give away my age, I have accumulated so many tips and tricks to make it much more enjoyable, and I'm gonna share all of them with you. And my very first tip is, don't do it. Hear me out, hear me out. Yes, you wanna go from A to B to your destination at the other side of the globe, but if you can, try to break it up into several legs. That's what I usually do. Break it up into sections that are maybe between 8 or 10 hours maximum, if you're not too much in a hurry to get your destination at the other side of the world. That means you can stretch out in a hotel room, have a good night's sleep. Make sure your layover is at least 12 hours, if not 24 hours. If it's 24 hours, you get to visit a new destination on the way. What could be better? This would be my #1 suggestion. Also, if you don't have a layover, try to get a flight that gets you into your destination in the early evening so that you can go to sleep and then you're fresh in the next morning. In 2 months, I'm flying from Melbourne to Athens. I don't have the luxury of any of those things. I will arrive in the morning. I will only have a 6-hour layover in Singapore, which is absolutely terrible. It is too long to just change planes because you have to kill time, but it is too short to get a hotel room to sleep. Once in a while, I just choose the cheapest flight and I just deal with it. But why am I not worried? Because I've got my 10 travel tips that I'm gonna share with you, which brings us to travel tip #2, prepare. Always prepare. That means pack all your things 2 days in advance. That way you're not gonna lie awake all night long before you're getting on your trip thinking of, oh my God, did I forget something? So definitely pack early on and also plan on what you're gonna pack. Have a packing list. I actually have one linked in the description. Start thinking about what you wanna bring a few days, maybe a week before your trip, and just write it down all on one list. And then when you pack 2 days ahead of your trip, you will not forget anything. The other thing is hydrate, hydrate, hydrate before you get on your flight. Obviously the air is gonna be very dry when you're flying, so 24 hours before your flight, hydrate. If you wanna take some vitamin C or something to boost your immune system, that's also the time to do that. And I also do a face sheet mask to moisturize my skin, and then I do another one on the flights, but also do one up front. And once you are in your seat on your plane for the next, I don't know how many hours, 10, 12, 13, 14 hours, I've done it all. You want to make sure that you have all your travel essentials right at your seat. So, you know, if you have watched my other videos, I like to travel with a personal item only, which means that everything in my bag will be under the seat in front of me, nicely within reach. In that case, I would pack all the things that I need during the flight in one compartment in my bag so that it's easy to access. Or you have your carry-on in the overhead bin and it's not easy to access, then you need a sling bag with all your essentials. For example, this one from Bag Smart. Everything will be linked in the description. So this is a very good option, very light and just a perfect size to fit everything in here. Or this fancy one from Nayo Smart. I have a full video about this sling bag, so if you're interested, watch that one. It has enough room for a tablet, which might come in handy. So in your essentials bag, whatever sort of bag that might be, there should be a sleep mask. Mine is very, very basic and very old, and it actually was a free one that came in one of those little toiletry bags that you get on planes. I like it because it is so light and it just has the perfect amount of pressure on my eyes. So if you need everything to be completely dark when you sleep, get a fancier one that makes sure that everything is like closed up and no light gets in. For me, the most important part about wearing this bad boy is that flight attendants see that I'm sleeping and don't wake me up for like meals or anything. Hey, she's sleeping. Then I also always have a little lavender spray. So this helps with sleeping, and you can just spray it directly on your mask. Spray it on the outside of your mask though, so that it doesn't get into your eyes. But lavender, it will just calm you down and it will also help you sleep. Then of course always have some sort of lip balm, just something to moisturize your lips. And then you want to have some facial moisturizer as well. Then you want to have hand cream in there as well. And maybe your face sheet mask if you want to repeat your beauty treatment from the night before. Always sanitizer wipes, especially if you're gonna sleep and lean on the window or something. Make sure you disinfect everything first, also the touch screen, everything. It's just better safe than sorry, right? And then also a toothbrush is nice. Those small travel size toothbrushes with a small toothpaste. And a small water bottle is always helpful, even though yes, they give you water, but sometimes you don't want to wait for them to bring water around. So it's always good to have a water bottle that you can just refill just before you get on the plane. And I mean, snacks. Then you also want to have a pen in your essentials bag because you will have to fill out some forms at some stage, and maybe some tissues and your passport and your phone. Okay, next up, something I am really excited about. I don't know if you've noticed, but I changed my necklace. All right, and you know what you can always bring, even when you travel really, really light with only a personal item? Jewelry. And I would recommend when you travel that you have jewelry that is very nice, also not crazy expensive because you know you don't want to lose it or you don't want to get robbed or something. I personally like jewelry that is water resistant as well, so you can have it on when I shower, for example. So this is my new piece from a brand called Luisa. They have sent me this beautiful necklace that I absolutely love. It is so pretty. And this bracelet, which is so nice because it doesn't have a lot dangling. My wrists are very slim, so usually bracelets, like, they are too big for me. But this one, I mean, look at it. It is so beautiful. It is really nice. So it is water resistant. It is also sustainable. It comes in that beautiful packaging, no plastic, amazing quality, long lasting, hypoallergenic, if that's a word. But yeah, it doesn't cause any allergies. And yeah, for me, it is always important that things are sustainable, and they are. And also I love that they're based in New York. I mean, I love everything American. And if you are one of my American viewers, just letting you know, shipping is free within the US. And according to the website, crazy affordable for everywhere else in the world. So if you need maybe a Mother's Day gift, and I really hope my mom isn't watching this right now, but I think this is the perfect gift for her because since I live in Australia and she lives in Austria, she usually gets nothing for Mother's Day. I mean, she gets a video phone call. That's what she gets, but usually no gift. I think some of the jewelry pieces start as low as $39. So I mean, come on, there are no excuses. And I mean, you can easily send it to your mom if she doesn't live in the same place where you are living. So this is probably what I'm gonna do, but don't tell anyone. So thank you so much, Luisa, for sending those beautiful pieces to me. And if you want to get them too, of course, there is a link in the description. There might even be a discount code depending on when you're watching it. So yeah, just have a look, check it out, and don't miss out on jewelry that is perfect for traveling. All right, next up, food. I don't know if it's just me, but I always get crazy hungry on long flights. As soon as I get on the plane, maybe an hour or two later, I'm starving. Even if I ate before at the airport, I don't know what it is. And even if you're not like a very hungry person, at some stage, if your flight is 10 hours or longer, you will get hungry, trust me. So here's a little trick. Always order a special meal. I always order the vegan meal, but there's like plenty of other options. So when you book your ticket, have a look what special meals they have, because if you have ordered a special meal, it means you will get served first. And also, what a lot of people don't know, if you get really hungry in between meals, or for example, when everyone else is sleeping and you can't sleep and all you want is a snack, go on a little walk, which you should do anyway several times during the flight. But yeah, just walk to the kitchen and just ask them, excuse me, I'm starving, do you maybe have any snacks? And they always have snacks, but ask nicely and you might get a lot of snacks. Next up, always get the airline's app. Download it before you actually get on the plane, because then Wi-Fi might not be working or might only allow in-flight entertainment. Because sometimes everything that you want to purchase on the flight, maybe you want to purchase an extra meal or something if it's a low-cost airline, some airlines only allow payments through their own app. They don't do credit card payments anymore. So yes, just better be safe than sorry. Have the airline's app for notifications or maybe in-flight entertainment. It's always good to have the app, so don't forget to download that up front. And next up, what to wear? Well, you want to be comfortable, obviously, but you also want to look sort of stylish. Of course, nice jewelry always helps. So look for something that is both comfortable and still looks good, because who knows, maybe you have a chance to be upgraded, and they won't upgrade you if you like wear your oldest sweater and your torn jeans. Your chances to be upgraded are much higher if you actually look nice when you're flying. And also on long flights, I always wear my compression socks. It helps with circulation and it stops your feet from swelling up like crazy. And you don't want to have problems with like blood clots or anything like that. So yes, wear your compression socks. I used to have compression socks that are super, super, super tight, and they were so painful. I don't think that's healthy. So I found compression socks that are just the right amount of compression. So you might have to shop around a little bit to find the perfect pair of socks for you. But yes, definitely bring them on the plane. I usually just only put them on once I sit down in my seat. So they're always in my carry-on or essential bag. And before we get to the most important part, which is how do you sleep on a plane? I just wanted to give a quick shout out to KRAFTGEEK. They reached out a few weeks ago and they said, would you like to have a tripod? And I was like, sure, bring it on. I didn't expect that it would be so fancy. So, oh my God, first of all, I can put my Osmo Pocket camera on that tripod. I did not know. And now I have much better angles. So I do apologize for my last few videos where the light was behind me, because that was the only way I could place my camera before I had the tripod. But now everything is so much more professional, because I've got the most professional and really nice tripod. It is white and silver, so it looks so nice too. Oh my God, I'm using it right now and I love it. If you are a professional YouTuber, photographer, and if you want a really, really good tripod that's also light enough to take it on your trip, check out the link in the description. There might even be a discount code. Just have a look. All right, sleeping on the plane. Well, you need more than just a sleep mask that we already talked about and a lavender spray. So those are good starting points. What is also important is if you can get a window seat, that always helps. At least it helps me, because nobody's gonna wake me up and climb over me while I'm sleeping. You always want to have your seatbelt on. Even if they give you a blanket, make sure that you close your seatbelt on top of the blanket, because if there is any turbulence, the flight attendants will come and ask you if your seatbelt is on and will wake you up. So make sure your seatbelt is always visible to them. Also make sure you wear your face mask so that they know that you're sleeping, so that nobody is waking you up. Make sure you wear something warm, because it gets crazy cold on planes, and especially when you sleep, your body temperature goes down a little bit, and oh my God, like it can get really, really cold. So if you have like a fluffy hoodie or something, that would be perfect. Also, you can put the hood over your eyes and be a little bit more private in a way. Also, if you are a light sleeper, you can use earplugs, of course, because it does get noisy. And now let's talk about sleeping positions. Well, I've tried them all. Really, I've been on so many flights, and I've been lucky many, many times that I had 3 seats, or like 2 seats next to me and a whole row of 3 seats, even a whole row of 4 seats. If you are lucky enough to sit in the middle and have 4 seats to yourself, yes, I would recommend that you lie down if you are not too tall, because then your feet or your head don't stick out, so you can actually sort of lie down. So that would be absolutely ideal. Second best is, even if you have 2 seats next to you, it's not long enough to lie down. And all the sleeping positions where you have like your legs up and you like fold yourself up, but your body is still in an upright position, trust me, several body parts will fall asleep, and it is actually very uncomfortable. So, long story short, the best sleeping position on a plane is seated. Just recline as much as you can and try to elevate your feet. That definitely helps. If you have your personal item under the seat in front of you, you pull it out a little bit and you just put your feet on your personal item so they are elevated. That's the best option you have, unless of course you fly business class, but that's a whole different video. All right, and next, in-flight entertainment. You want to binge your favorite show, or you want to watch like the newest movie. So make sure that there is actually in-flight entertainment. Some low-cost airlines don't even have in-flight entertainment, meaning the monitors in the seat in front of you. But you can usually still watch something with the Wi-Fi on your device. Sometimes it costs a few dollars, but it's definitely worth it. So it's good to research up front if there are monitors in the seat in front of you. If there aren't, bring a small tablet. That would be ideal. And again, this is your perfect personal item bag because it fits an 11-inch tablet. And then you can just bring your normal wireless headphones. Or if there is in-flight entertainment, and if you still have some with a cable, bring them as well, because they will definitely be better than the ones that they give you on planes, and sometimes they even charge you for headphones now. If you only have like the wireless ones, there are adapters that you can put into the little plug for headphones. Speaking of little plugs, always make sure you have a charger for your phone that's not just a wall socket charger, but has a USB on one side and on the other side USB-C or whatever goes into your phone. But yes, I have not come across a seat that does not have a USB charging port. And this brings us to my last tip, which is, as soon as you board your flight, change your watch to the destination time. Then you know when it's night at your destination. This is probably the best time when you should get sleep on the plane, even if it's still light out there. And you can mentally prepare yourself for the time zone that you're in when you arrive. You can plan your meals, you can plan your naps according to the time zone of your destination, which will definitely help with your jet lag once you get to your destination. And this brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet, because there will be much more happening on this channel. You will see me on a long haul flight, and of course there will be minimalist packing videos and luggage reviews and all the good stuff. Thank you again, Luisa, for sending me beautiful jewelry. And again, the link is in the description, so don't miss out on your own Luisa jewelry. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye!